What is going on, everybody? Welcome into another episode, opening up another podcast here to talk about our favorite team, the Arizona Cardinals. What's up, Mythic Man? How you doing today?
Doing pretty good. How are you doing?
All right, man. Can't complain. I mean, obviously we can complain about the Cardinals, but we're here to talk about them. Most likely we will probably complain a little bit here during this podcast, but let's dive into it, man. We got we got our division rival here coming up with the Los Angeles Rams, which we'll dive into a little later on in the stream. But there's kind of some things that we wanted to dive into before. We did get some heartbreaking news. When it rains, it pours. We ended up hearing that Kazir White, one of the best acquisitions for the Arizona Cardinals this offseason, is now being placed on IR. What are your thoughts on that, man? Because we're going to be not seeing him for 4 games or 4 weeks. He should be gone for. We do have a bye week, so we might see him towards the end of the season. We'll have to kind of wait and see, but let me know how you feel about that, being that Kazir White's being placed on IR.
They said he's going to be back in 4 weeks.
No, I apologize. No, I apologize. No. So, yeah, I apologize. No. So he's being placed on IR. He's eligible to come back.
Okay.
Yeah. So I know that they already said that he's out. So I just like to add the eligibility after the 4-week period. But yeah, I think they already said that he's out for the year, right?
Okay, I was about to say he tore his bicep. I was like,
yeah, no. I apologize. Thanks for clearing that up. Yeah. So I'm sorry. Yeah, he's out. What's your thoughts on that?
It sucks, dude. That's the best acquisition all off season. Came in here, he had like 90 tackles, I believe. And he was just the leader outside of Budda Baker of this defense in the middle of the field. He was just conducting everything. He was just flying around, making plays, wasn't afraid to hit people. Super big impact player as well. Like when he makes a play, I feel like this team rallies around him and like they build off of his energy. And obviously losing someone like that who, let's see, 90 combined tackles, 1 interception, which was a game winner on Dak Prescott, 2 sacks. 37 assisted. Losing someone like that who just anchors the middle of the field, 90 tackles. He's almost at 100. And we still have like 5-6 games left to go. He's unfortunately not going to get it, but Kazir White has been huge for this defense. And hopefully he heals up because we need to see Kazir White back fully healthy next year with a team that is hopefully going to be a lot better. How are you feeling about it?
I think my mind's a little mush, man. Honestly, I hear IR and I'm just like, oh, great, here goes again, right? Just like when it rains, it pours. It does suck because he was a dominant force on our defense, right? The guy that was the physical guy that would really, really kind of set the tone on our defense along with Budda Baker, and it sucks. Yeah, so let me clarify here. I apologize. I was literally just kind of going through the motions with my head right now. I wasn't really quite thinking, but you're right. Kazir White was placed on IR, torn bicep, and he's not going to be coming back for the remaining of the year. It sucks, man. I think it's not that I'm not checked out. I'm still going to be watching these games. It's just, I'm kind of at that point right now where like if it happens, it happens, right? If we win, we win. If we don't, we don't.
I feel like that's how it is. Like as soon as you're like, there's like always that chance, right, that you can go on like a Cinderella run, and then as soon as those fade away, and you're just like, okay, there's legit like nothing to root for, and it's just like can't make the playoffs, can't do anything. Like we can show fight, just worst draft pick. Obviously, we want to compete and contend and get somewhere around like 4 wins because if we go winless for the rest of the year, it's gonna be so hard to come on here and just keep talking about the Cardinals. Because man, you come on and you talk about your team losing consistent games, and then obviously. It's like a cycle. It's the Kyler Murray cycle. It's like this team sucks. The coaching staff, Monty Austinfort, Jonathan Gannon. And then it's just a cycle and repeat. And then like, okay, what do we do in the draft? And I feel like a lot of people's heads are shifted to the draft already. Mine's kind of shifting as we speak. It kind of shifted insanely after this past week. You don't go on that run that you thought you could. I thought we were going to lose to the Texans. I think we were going to beat the Rams this week. But as soon as you kind of lose another game and you realize you're at 9 losses, there's like no hope. Like there's really no hope for the rest of the season. Like the season's dead. We kind of knew it was already dead from the beginning. Yeah. But now we're just at a point where we're just like completely gone. And it's hard to root for this. Like I'm going to tune in, but it's hard to sit here and just be like super excited because once the playoff aspirations or Cinderella run is gone, it's hard to root for.
No, I agree, 100% agree with that whole sentiment with the idea of just like the Arizona Cardinals, man. We're a 2-9 team right now. We're playing a Los Angeles Rams team this weekend that since 2019, since we've had Kyler Murray on our roster, we are 2-7 against the Los Angeles Rams. If you want to include the terrible playoff game that we were in, we're 2-8. So although I want to believe that the Arizona Cardinals can pull off a win in this game, history's told me many times, don't be a fool. Don't believe in the hype. But that just kind of circles back to the idea of like the Kyler Murray topic, right? With man, like I've heard people come out here and say like all they want to see from Kyler Murray is for him to play tough, right? They want to see him move the ball down the field. But to me, like if he wants to be the quarterback for the Arizona Cardinals for the future, you got to win games. Like you have to, right? We're seeing CJ Stroud, rookie quarterback with a rookie head coach, and D'Amico Ryans, they're going on a run to the playoffs, right? And their roster isn't the best roster out there, but they got that big piece in that quarterback, and obviously Tank Dell's a huge acquisition as well. But like, I don't know, man. This whole Kyler Murray thing, I think I'm just kind of coasting right now. We got 6 games left on the season, 7 weeks left in the NFL season because we got a bye week. But man, we'll have to kind of wait and see what happens. Now, you did tell me something before we started the stream concerning Marquise Hollywood Brown. Do you want to let the people know what you heard?
Yeah, so I saw this as soon as I woke up, and that Hollywood Brown told someone in like Arizona media that there's been positive conversations with the Cardinals about a new contract. And he clearly stated that he wants to be in Arizona, and the feel from it is they want him here too, which kind of makes sense because obviously they traded a first-round pick back then, obviously different regime, right? But at the end of the day, like Hollywood Brown is still a fantastic receiver. Obviously not a wide receiver 1, and it's tough putting him in that position. Has a couple missed balls. His stats could look way better than they do right now. Even our OC, his name is just slipping my mind.
Petzing.
Drew Petzing even came on and talked about it, that Hollywood Brown's been locked in, even though he's had a couple big plays just robbed from him, and he's like still locked in, just coming in, just like doing his thing. But I don't know. Like, I want Hollywood here. It's just the price tag matters big time. Like, is he going to ask for 24 million or something like absurd? Like, I'd pay him 18 comfortably 18, 19.
I mean, that's definitely contingent on if we have drafting a rookie wide receiver, big guy in the draft as well. Well, at least to me, right now, Marquise Hollywood Brown, in terms of his stats, he's got 45 receptions, 486 yards, 4 touchdowns, and averages 10.8 yards a catch for Marquise Hollywood Brown. I mean, if we keep him cool, I just don't know exactly like where the Arizona Cardinals are going to go. I don't know what the expectations are for Kyler Murray for the organization. Like, no, we hear a lot of the things back and forth in terms of like what Jonathan Gannon or Monty Austin-Fort says, like they want to see him play hard, but like, I don't know what the future is for the quarterback situation for the Arizona Cardinals. And of course, Marquise is Kyler's guy and vice versa. So, I mean, if we do bring him back and we're looking at a longer term deal, I wouldn't be mad at it. But I do agree with you. I think that the price tag is a very, very crucial thing to talk about because we can't be paying him wide receiver 1 money, especially because we have so many holes on this roster. We can go offensive line, interior defensive line. We could do so much money with that money. And there are some wide receivers in this draft class that I really, really like. And that's stepping away from the obvious choice of Marvin Harrison Jr. So we'll have to kind of wait and see. I mean, would you want him back? I mean, I know you said it's depending on the price tag, but like you want Marquise back?
I do. I do. I feel like he provides great skills to this offense. Obviously, the speed is almost unmatched in terms of whatever. And there are plays that he's been robbed this year. So it's kind of hard because like when you legit can't do anything, like the ball is just like completely out of like your range or whatever, and you're doing everything you can to catch the ball. Like he had to lay out, like extend completely, and it barely hit him in the hands.
True.
And then one of them was out of bounds completely. Josh Dobbs, was it underthrow or either underthrew him or he overthrew him again? So Hollywood should easily have at least minimum 3 touchdowns. So like looking at the stats, obviously they're not fantastic, almost 500 yards, 4 touchdowns, but it could easily be 7 touchdowns, like 650 yards. So at the end of the day, I'm not worried, especially because he was playing with Josh Dobbs and Clayton Tune for a majority of this and 2 games with your franchise quarterback. So I would like to see how the rest of the season plays out, obviously. So thankfully we have 6 more games, but I think Hollywood back on a like 18 to like $19 million contract would be.
And here's the thing too, like it's not one of those things where we can just make our own market. You got to go with the market, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And that's probably
and if someone gets paid too, then you're going to have to kind of trend with the market, because obviously that's how players are nowadays. They see what other people got paid, and that's the price of today.
Yeah, you're right. You're 100% right. We got a contribution here coming our way from Michael Evans. He says, can we win 2 more? I'm assuming 2 more games. Do you think the Cardinals can win 2 more? Right now, we're 2-9 on the season.
I think so. I think it's going to be the Steelers and then the Rams. I think we got 2 more at the minimum.
Okay.
Hopefully. Do you think we got them?
I want to see what they do against the Rams, man. Like right now, I'm as deflated as they possibly can be. Right now, like I can't even muster. I can't even. My mind can't even like think straight right now. Because of just like where we are at right now, and so many opportunities missed. And I get it, there's still kind of some hype around Kyler Murray coming back, but like it's all kind of fizzled out when we lost against the Texans. It's hard for me to wrap my mind and compare and not compare to other teams. Now, granted, yes, we knew what was going to happen coming into the season, but like everybody thought the same thing for the Texans. Everybody thought the same thing for the Texans. Like we were going to be 1-2, right, in the draft order. And, anything can change in the football season. So it's just kind of, I don't know. It makes me not very, very happy, but also not very, very like optimistic, if it makes sense. I hope we win 2 more games, because honestly, if we don't win at least 2 more games, I don't know what the future is going to be for Mr. Murray over there. So we'll have to kind of wait and see how it all shakes out. So first step, the Rams, we got to take care of business and take care of them, because last time we said this a little earlier, since 2019, the Arizona Cardinals are 2-8, including the playoff run, and then 2-7 against the Rams. So they obviously has had our number for quite some time. But let's shift over to the Cardinals versus Rams. What do you want to see in this game, either for Kyler, for the offense, for the defense? What do you want to see in this game for the Cardinals to be even competitive in this game?
What's tough is Kiren Williams for the Rams just got activated again, and I'm pretty sure he's on pace to play. So, of course, Kiren Williams, if you guys don't remember, was the running back who absolutely torched us in game 1 that we played against the Rams, and our run defense has been horrendous, and Devin Singletary just ran for a ton of yards. So, over 100, and I don't know. It's tough, especially after losing Kaiser White, to like not assume that we're going to get absolutely bodied. And it's like, okay, you just lost the anchor to this defense. Obviously, you have some linebackers like Chris Barnes and a couple other players who can slot in, but they're not Kaiser White. They don't make the same impact. Like they make plays, but they're better suited as linebackers behind Kaiser than the lead vocal middle linebacker. So
True.
It's tough. I am dreading the run game against the Rams because Matthew Stafford hasn't looked fantastic. Even last week, outside of that game-winning drive, the offense was dead. Seattle kind of handed them that win with penalties.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not really worried about the Rams necessarily, but that run game could kill us. And if we can't stop the run, then what are we going to do? We're just going to have to just take it at that point, just like we did. So I am dreading that. And I am looking for Kyler Murray to step up, honestly. I just need I really need Kyler Murray not to turn the ball over. It's back-to-back games with turnovers, and obviously the turnovers didn't necessarily play a key factor in our loss last game. Game management was horrendous. Kyler Murray had a couple missed balls, conversions on 3rd and 4th down. Just a lot of things outside of that turnover, but I don't want to see him clean it up. It's 2 games back-to-back that he's returned with turnovers, and this is kind of his preseason. So now that he has these 2 games out of the way and he's kind of into a rhythm, I said he was going to get things going in like game 4. It's game 3, right? You're almost here. You're close. You're close to where you have your little preseason. You got your 2 games. We should start seeing him get a lot better this game. I feel like he played pretty solid last game. Obviously, he had a couple wobbly balls and just bad throws that were behind him, but I feel like he played decent. He went like 20 for 30 with a touchdown, 200-something yards, 50 rushing and a touchdown. But Kyler's got to clean it up, right? You have those stats with no interceptions and maybe lead the team in for 2 touchdowns just like you did last game, then I feel like we're on pretty good pace. But I just want Kyler Murray to not turn the ball over this game. And obviously, run defense. I can't.
That's a big one. Run defense is definitely a big one for sure. Huge shout out here to Sports Hits with a $5 dono. It says, happy Thanksgiving, Mike and Mythic. Let's get a win on Sunday. Well, we got some positivity in the chat. Love to see it. Yeah, definitely. Obviously, tomorrow is Thanksgiving, so I appreciate you guys for being here and tuning in. Let's shift over here real quick. What are your plans for Thanksgiving, Mythic?
Dude, I have no idea. I think we're just going over to my family's house, and that's about it. You got anything going on?
Yeah, well, so the way that my family does it, we got like 2 different Thanksgivings. So my wife's family celebrates it in the morning, so like do like a lunch, and then my family's always done it at night. So it kind of worked out. So I got 2 Thanksgivings coming. So by tomorrow, I'm gonna be rolled into my car and then hopefully just like driven everywhere because I'm gonna be like a happy person with a lot of food in their stomach. So I'm excited about that. But yeah, continue to talk about this game here. I agree. I think those are really good points. I think Kyler Murray, obviously, after the Texans game, we've seen some good things, but we also did see some things where we're like, oh no, that's not good, right? Especially coming off a win against the Atlanta Falcons, especially in that last fourth quarter drive where we ended up getting the win and obviously setting up for Matt Prater. And depending on how, decisions were made from the coaching, it probably could have ended the same way versus the Texans, but unfortunately it didn't. There has been some very, very crucial things that Kyler Murray has not looked very good in. And that is the deep throw to Marquise. That thing has been struggling since the beginning of the season, right? The deep ball to Marquise, it just hasn't been there with Josh Dobbs, Clayton Tune, or Kyler. So I can't completely pin it on Kyler, but being that he's a franchise quarterback, he needs to figure it out. They both need to figure it out. I don't know what's going on there. So that needs to be cleaned up, as well as just he's never really been a pocket type of quarterback. I know he's a scrambler guy, the guy that likes to create plays with his legs. I fear their defensive line. I fear Aaron Donald, because every time we are playing against them, it's just he always finds a way to make an impact in this game, regardless of the Rams suck or not. He always finds a way to make an impact, and I do fear that. So we need to limit him to be able to make less impactful plays. And I get it. That's pretty much asking you to not drink water. You know what I mean? Because you need water, and Aaron Donald always wreaks havoc on the Arizona Cardinals offensive line, regardless. So Kyler Murray needs to clean it up. That's true. In order for us to get any chance of a win, we did talk about Matthew Stafford not looking that great this year, but we have seen players look the best against the Arizona Cardinals. Right in the beginning of the season, we've seen what the Giants have historic numbers against us, and historic comeback. Yeah. So if any team can do it, right, it's the team playing against the Arizona Cardinals. So
yeah.
Kiren Williams coming back definitely is going to hurt because I think
Cooper Kupp is out though too.
Who is?
Cooper Kupp.
Oh, he's out?
I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, he got hurt last game. And I don't remember what happened, but people were telling me, or at least I was getting a bunch of comments that Cooper Kupp was trending to not play. And I don't know if that's still the case, but that's what people in my comments were saying. So if Cooper Kupp is not playing this game and he is hurt, because even if he's hurt, I mean, we'll take a banged up Cooper Kupp over a healthy Cooper Kupp.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know. Let me go ahead and look that up. I'm not 100% sure, but people were telling me that Cooper Kupp is most likely not
going to play.
Yeah,
I mean, he's probably listed as questionable right now. If he's listed as doubtful, then obviously I think that's definitely a good thing for the Arizona Cardinals. But I mean, they still do got Puka Nacua over there, probably one of the electrifying rookies, wide receivers, and of course he's playing in our division. There's nothing on Puka Nacua, right, in terms of like an injury designation.
I don't think so. And Cooper Kupp is just listed questionable right now, so that's something to keep your eyes out for. But if he's out, man, that's huge. But at the end of the day, they still got Puka Nacua, who almost has 1,000 yards. So it's like he's on the brink of 900, 897.
Are you serious?
897, 3 touchdowns. And he caught a touchdown last week against Seattle, 5 receptions, 70 yards, a touchdown. And it feels like Matthew Stafford loves targeting Puka in the clutch as well. So I feel like this is going to be like a really close game. And I'm just praying Matthew Stafford doesn't have the ball in his hands, because Matthew Stafford hurt. Matthew Stafford on one leg. It doesn't freaking matter. If it's clutch time, Matthew Stafford's going to go out there and just freaking deliver. And you're just going to hear all about it, because that's what he does. Like in Detroit, he got banged up, didn't even have like a shoulder or something, and he led a game-winning drive, and he just consistently does it. And it's like, I don't necessarily fear him, but like if it comes down to a game winner, it's like, gosh, we don't have a defense to stop anybody. So it's like, like I don't know, anything's possible. Matthew Stafford back to back on us.
Yeah, so the 3-game stretch that we're dealing with here right now, the Rams, the Steelers, and then the 49ers. So we got 2 division games within the 3-game stretch. And then after that 49ers game, or actually no, so our bye week comes after the Steelers, right?
I believe so.
Yeah.
I think we have back-to-back and then a bye week.
Yep, back-to-back. You're 100% correct. Yeah, so we got 2 games and then the bye week, and then we can hopefully rest up. And then after that, 49ers, Bears, Eagles, and then the Seahawks. And really just depending on where the Seahawks are, just they're gonna play. I know I always say, like, if they don't need to start their starters, I'm assuming that they're gonna be playing. This stretch is tough, bro. Like, this 6 games left, and we could be put out of our misery. Like, come on.
Right. It's tough. It really is, just being in a position where you just kind of like want the season to be over and you like know where you're going. And I just want to watch playoff football at the end of the day.
Me too. Oh, me too.
I'm
Regardless of the Cardinals aren't there anymore. This year has been really weird. Is it for you too? Like, there's so many injuries, not just for the Cardinals, the NFL in general. Like,
especially last week. I'm pretty sure Lamar Jackson got hurt. Mark Andrews is out for the year. Joe Burrow's out for the year. There's just so many players that just keep getting hurt, and it's like star big names. Cooper Kupp's been hurt twice this year. Who else? Anyone else? Justin Jefferson got hurt.
Jefferson, yeah.
I don't know. There's just a bunch of people, and then obviously Buda Baker, Kyler Murray was coming back.
Yeah.
Is there anyone else?
Odd.
It really is. Like, I don't know what it is, but for some reason, there's just so many people who just keep going down. It's like big name players. I believe the Ravens always get hurt.
Yeah, true.
J.K. Dobbins got hurt too. I don't know what happened there.
That was the first game, huh? I think it was like the first or the second game.
I believe so. I mean, the Browns, we could talk about the Browns all day. Nick Chubb, they lost both their starting tackles, and Jack Conklin and the other guy, I don't remember. I'm forgetting his name, but they lost both tackles. They lost to Deshaun Watson. Aaron Rodgers tore it in 4 plays. Like, I was so excited to watch Aaron Rodgers play with the
Me too. I'm not going to lie to you.
Like, so excited. Like, I don't know, just good football. Like, yeah, I just like watching good football, genuinely. And if you can't watch it from the Cardinals, I'll watch it from other teams.
Yeah, especially playoff football. There's definitely something to obviously talk about with playoff football. Because I like watching football in general. So I still find myself, as even though how miserable I might be because of my Cardinals, but like I still sit down and kind of watch a game or two, or watch a Sunday night football game if I got nothing going on. So yeah, man, 6 more. I just can't believe we're talking about week 12 already. Like, how fast the season has gone is wild.
It is flying. And obviously, we're kind of on the trajectory that I thought we are, but it sucks being here. I'm gonna keep it real. I wanted to at least defy a little expectations, but we're just not there. We are terrible.
Yeah. Well, take a look at the other rookie head coaches this year that got hired. I don't know if you would put Sean Payton as a rookie. No, I guess you wouldn't. No, he's not. So like Shane Steichen, right, from the Colts. How many wins did he got over there? Let's take a look.
I don't know. Speaking of the Colts, so Darius Leonard.
Oh, that's right. Leonard. Yeah.
Crazy. They're 3rd in the AFC South right now with a record.
They're 5 wins.
Yeah, so they got 5 and 5.
5 wins. Obviously, we know D'Amico Ryans is going on a playoff run. What is it? 6 wins now after
I believe so. 6 and 5
beating us.
Or 6 and 4, one of the two.
Yeah. So there's that, and then who else was a rookie head coach this year? Obviously us. Oh, no, that's it, because Panthers guy Frank Reich wasn't as a rookie head coach.
4. Yeah, I think there's 4.
4
or
right?
3.
I'm missing somebody. Because Frank Reich is not a rookie head coach. He's the Panthers guy.
I'm not sure. Actually, the coaching carousel this year is weird. Cardinals have one. Falcons, I'm not sure. Ravens don't. Bills don't. Panthers, I don't know. Panthers maybe.
No, well, Panthers is Frank Reich, and he's not a rookie head coach.
Bears, I don't know.
I think that's it. So we got 3, and we're the one that's not doing so good. Do you think if we had D'Amico Ryans, we would be better, or do you think our roster just sucks?
I feel like our roster sucks. I feel like we have a couple games this season that we should have won that is like really out of control of it's just crazy. Like, how do you lose the Giants game? how do you lose the Commanders game? Like Josh Dobbs fumbles the ball 3 times. Like, how do you put up 9 points against the Commanders who put up 15? And you just gave them every opportunity to win the game in the second half. Like, it was just sick. Like, we should have started the season off 2-0. And then obviously of games along the way, you beat Dallas somehow. Like, how does that happen? I don't know. Like, cool. Right? Like, you bounce back and you're like 1-2 and you're like, oh, yeah, didn't see that coming. I'll tell you that much. And then you just keep coasting through the season and we just keep losing and losing and losing. And then the Texans game, I feel like was so winnable. Everything in our power to win that game. It was just handed to us. CJ Stroud, 3 picks. And people tried telling me CJ Stroud had a good game. I was like, he didn't play horrible if you wipe away the picks. But they happen. So
you can't just
it's like you can't just look away and be like, yeah, he gave us 3 possessions and he played a great game and they should have absolutely won this. I'm like, they did win the game. The Texas defense stepped up too, but they didn't. CJ Stroud wasn't the reason they won this game. Devin Singletary popped off for 100 yards too. Like, a lot of things went right, and our run defense is bad, and we're also to bank on that. CJ Stroud made play after play though. Like, on 3rd down, he was stepping up, making throws. He was doing his thing, but he didn't look fantastic.
What do you think? When you compare, because I'm seeing people in the comments here saying that our roster is, but do you think the Texans roster is good? I mean, short of the rookies, obviously rookies are rookies, but do you think the Texans roster is good?
I wouldn't say good. They are playing great football, but they're not playing. They don't have like a ton of talent. Like, they have players, don't get me wrong, who are stepping up and doing their thing. Like, I believe it's Blake Cashman is our linebacker. They have like Shaquille Griffin, Justin Reed. Like, they have players, but like nothing insane. I believe they have Shaq Mason on the defensive line. I don't know if he's played all year. Like, there's a corner. Steven Nelson. Like, they have like vets, but like no one expected them to come together like this. And then you have Will Anderson, obviously, on the D line as an outside linebacker. Like, I don't know. Their line, I thought like the Texans have decent pieces, but their O-line I thought was going to be so bad that they weren't going to get anything going. And it was like, there's going to be no run game. It's just going to be CJ Stroud, and CJ Stroud's going to have to figure it out. But he's figuring out. Justin Reed's on the Chiefs. Who am I thinking of? There's one safety that people were telling me was like really good. Jimmy Ward. That's who it is. Jimmy Ward is on the Texans.
Well, that's we don't know their roster. Now I get it. There's not one person in the world that knows everybody's roster, right? But like, that's the thing that you can at least name some studs. Like, right, when you think of the Cardinals, you think of Kyler Murray, Budda Baker, you think of James Conner, right? And everybody else kind of falls short. With the exceptions of the rookies this year. Who the heck else do they have? Obviously we do this, so we kind of know Nico Collins, but like, I don't think the average person knows who the heck Nico Collins is. Unless you play fantasy football.
Or Tank Dell.
Yeah, Tank Dell's a rookie that's looking really good, so that's why people know him. But like, I think roster to roster, like, I don't know, man. Like, I think coaching does play a big part into it, and obviously depends on what happens, because games are determined in 2 or 3 big plays, right? Did you go for it on field? Did you go for the field goal? Did you not? Did the 4th down work for you? Did it not? Right? All those little things kind of summon to the end of the result of what happens in a football game. And I just think everything that we've decided to do kind of bit us in the butt, with the exception of 2 games, because we're a 2-9 team.
There's like 4 games that we weren't in, right? We weren't in the 49ers game at all. We lost 35-16. The Bengals game we were in at halftime. Josh Dobbs threw that pick and killed it, and we lost 34-20. So, that's a game you can write off, but we were in that game. Like, it was winnable at one point. Obviously only a half, so it's like, is it really winnable? Because it's a 2F game. Lost by 14. The Rams, we lost 9-26, but I feel like that game was super slow scoring until the second half. Piled it on. I feel like we had a chance. And then the Ravens game, it was a 7-point game, but did we have a chance in the Ravens game? I don't think so.
I never felt like we were going to win that game, to be honest.
It was a really fluky 4th quarter where we put up like 15 points. Like, well, let's be serious. And then the Browns game, obviously, if we even got 2 yards against the Browns, it was a dub in our eyes. So that game was wrote off. But like, everything else,
literally the epitome of, like, I'm not sure if you've seen that movie Little Giants. That's what the Cardinals were, the Little Giants, and then the Cowboys were the the Browns, man. That game was just a disaster, man. It was bad, and it's unfortunate that our rookie quarterback had to make his debut in that game because he looked pretty bad as well.
I know out of every game,
right? What do you think? What do you think happens in this game? Do you think it's going to be a low scoring game, Cardinals versus Rams, because division games, or do you think it's going to be a close game in the 20s, teens? What do you think is going to happen in this game?
I'm going to say it's going to go 20-24. Decently scoring. Yeah, I'm going to say decent scoring. I think the Cardinals are going to pull it off, is what I stuck with. Maybe like 21-17, but I really feel like there's going to be some decent amount of points put up. It's not going to be like a 10-13. And if it is, then I'll be kind of shocked because I don't know. The Rams defense is underrated. They're really underrated. They have players.
Yeah.
And obviously Aaron Donald, it's tough having to scheme around that. Like, obviously it's possible, but you can eliminate them all you want, but then it just opens up so much. It opens up so much for them to attack. And our line is already like super iffy. Like Paris Johnson's like the only one who I'm like positive is going to be on this roster in 5 years. So it's tough. Like it really is. DJ Humphries hasn't played for 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
Right now, let me ask you, Will Anderson Jr. had a game against us. Any not so much regrets, but were you high on Will Anderson coming into the draft? Or
yeah, I feel like he was the best outside linebacker
player.
Not player.
Oh, okay.
I think it was nice. I was more than okay trading back. I still am okay with trading back because I believe I want to say he has 3 sacks on the season. One of them came against us. Yes, I'm not like super impressed. You know who I really wanted on the Texans defense? Derek Stingley.
Cornerback.
I'm pretty sure I said this too. I was like, oh yeah, he's coming back. He got an interception against us.
He was pretty good. So Will Anderson right now, 22 solo tackles, 3 sacks on the season. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not necessarily regretting it. Obviously, he's a rookie. Outside linebackers take a while to develop, figure everything out. But I feel like he's definitely solid. And for the Texans, I feel like it is probably perfect fit with D'Amico Ryans, a head coach. Like, I just feel like they're going to unlock the best out of Will Anderson.
It's just crazy I feel like what 3 draft picks can do for your organization.
I know. We have 2.
Or wait, was Derek Stingley also a
2 years ago or 1 year
2 years ago? Okay, gotcha.
Or 1 year ago, but I wanted him bad.
Well, Will Anderson, CJ Stroud, and Tank Dell. Like, it's crazy what 3 draft picks can do for your organization. It's wild, man.
We're in a position to do something similar. Obviously, different places, but I mean, we're going to have a top 3 pick, more than likely. A top, hopefully, 20 pick. I mean, they're at 21 right now. I'm just praying for the fall off. But I don't know. Like, I feel like we're in such a good position right now. And let's say we do want Marvin Harrison Jr. and he doesn't come to us. We just trade back. If we don't have anybody there, pile in the assets. Maybe get a later first-round pick and get more in the draft. If that's the case, if someone wants like a Drake May, like if we're slotted 3 and Marvin Harrison Jr. goes at 2 and someone wants Drake May, okay, cool. We'll trade back. Give us first round, give us something else, and we'll talk. I mean, Trey Lance, we saw the package that the 49ers gave up. Yeah. We can get a haul. Obviously, I want Marvin Harrison Jr. I think he's so generational. So generational.
Right now, let me ask you, right now where we're recording this, your mind isn't even quarterback at all? First round Cardinals?
Not at all. I want Marvin Harrison so bad. I feel like the generational talent is there, and then I want to build both lines from there on out. It's nice because even if we do get Marvin Harrison Jr. and then we have another first round pick, it's like we're kind of just like a playoff team. You can go get a back end talent because say you get a 24th pick, you can still get, there's 24 players entering this draft. You get one of the best players potentially. Obviously, you have to draft them and scout and figure that out. But I mean, Monty seems to be pretty decent at drafting. BJ Ojolari's look great. Paris Johnson's looked phenomenal in my eyes for a rookie tackle, just taking on whatever. And obviously you have Kiren Williams, who small sample size, but I mean, the draft just looks like a hit, Michael Wilson. So I can't wait for this next draft, genuinely. And if we are at like number 2, I want Marvin Harrison at number 3. If Marvin Harrison's still there, I still want to go there. But if he's gone at 2, then I don't know.
So you're saying if we end up with the 2nd overall pick in the NFL draft?
I think so. And that's tough because unless it's like a quarterback needy team or like, I don't remember the ideal situation. Was it the Patriots? If they wanted Drake May in their 3, we'd swap it and they give us assets to trade up. I would do that. But I don't know. It's tough. I don't feel like passing on Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to be smart for the Cardinals at all. At all. He might be a better prospect than CD Lamb, than all these players that we wanted in the past. So I feel like passing on him would be tough because we're already regretting CD Lamb.
Yeah. Somebody in the chat says, honest question, why are so many Cardinal fans so confident about beating the Rams this week? I'm not confident.
I'm not confident. I think blindly optimistic. I'm blindly optimistic. I chalk this down as a win for whatever, and I kind of stand on that. I'm not saying we have an easy game at all. I'm ready for Kiren Williams to run for 100 yards, 120 yards. So I don't know. It's tough. I'm just being blindly optimistic.
That's fair.
I'm not sitting here like with confidence. Like I'd go place $100 down on the Cardinals. Absolutely not. I'm keeping my money. Like this isn't a team I'm confident in. They're 2-9. Yeah. But I mean, it's still my team, you know? I mean, this is a game I feel like is winnable. It's not like, I don't know. It's not like the 49ers or the Eagles where I'm going to just chalk it down as a loss. Instant.
Yeah, no, honestly, to me, I'm not confident. I'm not even going to say we're going to win. History tells me otherwise. And the Rams has always had our number, even since Kyler Murray's been our quarterback. We're 2-7, 2-8, including the playoff game. So I'm not confident. I'm not going to lie to you. If we end up at the 2nd overall pick, I don't know why everybody's so confident that we're just not going to even consider quarterback, because it's hard for me as a fan to look around. Well, it depends, right? It depends if we're 2nd overall and you still have 4 to 5 wins. It depends. But if we end up with the 2nd overall pick in the NFL draft and we're a 2-win team, I think the Cardinals at least need to consider it. And here's the way I like to think of it is that CJ Stroud over there, like, is the piece that has made you a playoff team. Now, we've seen Kyler Murray do that for the Arizona Cardinals as well. But to me, I said this, and I'll stand on my soapbox, that the Arizona Cardinals need to evaluate every single position, and that's including Kyler Murray. I don't care that man's on the contract. I don't care. I do not care. Everything needs to be evaluated. And I don't think Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to solve every problem. Do I want him? Yes, I do. Absolutely, I do. I don't think he's going to solve every problem. Would I rather go line? No, I do want Marvin Harrison Jr., although blindly I know that the line needs help as well. But I don't think Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to solve every problem the Cardinals have, because the coaching needs to get better too. I like Jonathan Gannon. I like him as a person. I think he's a cool guy, but like the decisions need to be better. Everything needs to be better. Like we're not making the right decisions. We're a 2-9 team. Like what are we celebrating?
Is there a way to see draft capital for teams? So the Cardinals have, as it stands right now, 2 first-rounders, 1 second, 3 thirds, a 4th, 3 fifths, a 6th, and a 7th. So we have a ton of draft capital.
We do.
Even in the first 5 rounds. And Monty, I mean, obviously the first 3 rounds are where most of your talent comes from.
Yeah.
And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 picks within the first 3 rounds, and 2 of them are firsts. So I'm pretty confident that we can build something nice. And I do want Marvin Harrison. It's not going to solve everything, but it's going to solve a lot. It's going to solve the wide receiver 1 issue long term. He's a generational talent. You're going to go ahead and solidify the receiver position. Then you re-sign Hollywood because we have like $80-something million in cap if we end up making cuts, which is most likely going to happen. But if we have $80 million, you give 18 to Hollywood Brown. You could even backload the contract, and then I don't know. So I like
building on the year.
Exactly, and you already have pieces, but you need to build way more, right? And then free agency is obviously there too. That's an aspect too. Maybe you go ahead and bolster the line, just get 1 piece, right? Maybe a guard, maybe a tackle, just something, and then you can build in the draft too. There's a bunch of D linemen that we could definitely use. Obviously, we need corner help. If there's a corner late in the first round, maybe we go corner solidify like the sexy positions, and then we'll have line. Obviously, we kind of want to bolster that. If there's a prospect that they think is going to come in here and help us and be a long-term piece, and I want to either side. I think we need help on the line. That's one of the biggest needs. But if we can get Marvin Harrison Jr., that's just so generational. You can't pass up on. And then you get that. And then,
is there any other wide receiver that you do want, or is that just your mindset?
I feel like it drops off. I feel like there are good receiver prospects for us, but I don't know if I want to take them in the first round if Marvin Harrison's gone. But that's just me. Is there anyone who caught your eye? I mean, I feel like there's good prospects.
Yeah. Roma Dunze from Washington. I think he looks very, very good. I think he's already got over 1,000 years. I'm sorry, 1,000 years. Whoa, 1,000 yards on the season. Big guy too.
I believe he's 6'3".
Yeah, 6'3", 216. Let me look at his stats here. I think he definitely went over 1,000 yards so far. And then he's got 11 touchdowns on the season, averages about 18.3 yards a catch. I do think there is a drop off as well, but I think if the Cardinals do miss out on Marvin Harrison Jr., I would be happy with this pick. Roma Dunze from Washington. And I think Washington guys that we bring, they work for us. Buda Baker. I like Byron Murphy, so I'm going to chalk him into being a guy that was actually productive for the Arizona Cardinals, although it didn't work out. He was productive.
He was productive. Absolutely. I feel like injuries were a big thing to pay him. Obviously, you want him, but injuries, I understood it. Yeah. You don't want to pay someone who's not playing games like that.
Yeah, no, for sure. So I do like other wide receivers as well, and I think that might be where I'm kind of standing as well, where I'm like, I don't know, man. I think the Cardinals need to keep winning in order for us to not even talk about this thing. I can't imagine the second overall and not even considering it. Because we're seeing he's a franchise quarterback, man. This guy's supposed to be winning games for us. Like, that's what your job is, win games, regardless if the roster sucks or not. We're seeing that Houston Texans do it. Why not us? Why not us? That's just what I always kind of chalk back over to. So it is what it is. So
do you think, would you take Drake May? Let's say Caleb Williams goes number 1.
To me, like you said, there's a big drop off with Caleb. I know it's getting very close in the grand scheme of things. And if the Cardinals do go Drake May, obviously I'm going to support whoever our quarterback is. But to me right now, it's either Kyler Murray or Caleb Williams. That's the only people that I want to see. That's it. That is it. I don't want to see Drake May, but like I said, if he does get drafted, cool. We'll see what happens. But like, to me, it's either Caleb or Kyler. That's just the way my mind is. And it might be like that for you with Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yeah. I don't know. It's tough. It's such a weird position to be in. Of course, the Cardinals, man. Of course.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. I'm already hearing it, man. The people are getting loud, and I get it. There's a lot of people out there that are saying do not draft a quarterback with the second overall, but you got to at least think about it, because your franchise quarterback came back for 8 games.
Yeah.
And if we're at the second overall, that's not a good team. That's not a good team at all. So we'll have to kind of wait and see. I think obviously we got 6 games left on the season, 7 games left in the NFL season. I think I just kind of want to be done with it already, man. I want to be done with this season. I'm not going to lie to you.
I feel it. I feel like Kyler's the franchise, but I mean, evaluation has to be done at the end of the day. Like, yeah, I think he's the quarterback long term, but you have to make evaluations. And
100%. All right, y'all. So we did go ahead and give predictions here. Rams versus Cardinals. We did talk about a little bit about draft as well. We're going to be closing up shop here. Anything else you want to dive into before we stop this podcast?
I think that about covers it. The one thing I was going to pull up real quick is just draft positioning, right? Houston being at 21 sucks. It's terrible. And then we stand at a record at 2-9 right now. Obviously, New England is right there. Chicago's a game that we're going to play later on in the season. So, I mean, if we lose that game against Chicago, that could be huge. And now we're even talking about losing games, right? We wanted to beat Houston for the draft thing. Our pick would have dropped, but their pick would have skyrocketed.
Yeah.
It depends. A lot of people are iffy about like what happened, but I mean, we have a better pick as it stands. Houston, obviously at 6 wins is not what we want. They're the 21st best team, but a lot can shake, man. And Carolina needs to turn it up.
Yeah, in order for us to get the first overall, yeah, I don't know, man. Carolina might, I mean, they might win another game, but like, I still do think that we will be behind them though. Regardless if we say we go on the same record, I don't think they're gonna win 3 games. Do I think Carolina might win 2? Yeah, I think they can win 2.
Yeah,
but I don't think they'll win 3. I think Carolina's bad.
Yeah, Carolina is not great at all.
Yeah, I agree with that. All right, y'all. Let's go and close up shop here. All right. Thank you so much for tuning in. Definitely go and smack that like button here if you guys enjoyed the conversation. We do go live here Monday, Wednesdays, and Friday, talking all things Arizona Cardinals. Cardinals versus Rams over the weekend. Appreciate you guys for tuning in as always. Have a great rest of your day, and go Cards.